The other day it was revealed that there's a new Jurassic World Netflix series on the way, a sequel to Camp Cretaceous. It will invariably have decent production value and all the bells and whistles that come along with a Netflix program. But whilst some seasons, season 3, my beloved, really did scratch that Jurassic horror itch so many of us have, it wasn't really the focus of the show. It's a vibe that the franchise has largely neglected lately outside of that season 3, a little bit of Jurassic World Aftermath, and the tones of Fallen Kingdom. But if you've been looking for more doses of Jurassic horror, you are in luck, thanks to the exceptional short films of Ali Awada. A lot of you may have seen these already, but for those who haven't, I really recommend you go check out their channel, linked below right now. These are short animated films made in Blender, and all of them have a focus on horror, utilising loads of different tropes of the genre, from found footage styles to point of view with flashlights moving around like an episode of Slender Man, stingers and jump scares and a lot. Not many jump scares, don't worry too much about that. I'm not going to show them in full here because you really should watch them over on the channel, but we're going to discuss them a little bit, look at some stills and talk about the wider franchise as well. It's worth noting these are made by a single person, one person in Blender. You're going to get some janky animation here and there invariably, but there's a lot to love here. Now, one of the reasons these are so good is that Ali is clearly a big fan of the wider Jurassic franchise. There's some of these that are going to ape the films, there's one that's play on the Dennis Nedry incident for example, but this one, The Infant, is clearly a riff on the opening scene of the Jurassic Park novel, wherein a Compsognathus, it's actually a Procompsognathus in the novel, kills an unattended baby at the hospital. At the time, it's blamed on sudden infant death syndrome because the nurse doesn't want to admit she left the baby alone, but we, and soon a few other people, know the truth. Whilst the animations can be a little bit lifeless in parts, the camera work, the lighting, the sound design is all top notch. There are some awesome shots in this one, and the infant with its shadowy corridors, the film, not the child itself doesn't have shadowy corridors, I hope. Beautiful use of depth of field and really effective implementation of horror tropes showcases that beautifully. Honestly, the camera work in particular on this episode is top notch, I highly recommend you check it out. Some of the others, like the After Hours incident, don't directly pull from anything. Using some found footage techniques, we follow a park worker after his very first shift, filming the park with a slightly anachronistic video camera, if we're honest, as he doesn't believe there's anything living there. We flip between his perspective, the video camera, a cinematic camera, and even local night vision CCTV footage. It runs the gamut, and when he discovers an escaped, deceased Dilophosaurus, it all kicks off. One of the beautiful things about this one is the Dilophosaurus itself, clearly much larger than the juvenile we see in the Dennis Nedry scene in Jurassic Park. Yes, I'm finally on board. It's hard to deny when Spielberg themselves and all the others say that's a juvenile Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaurus in the novels though is 20 feet long, so seeing them large like this is a cool nod to the novels and a great benefit of fan films like this. There's no canonical constraints, no style guide to follow, there's freedom. There's of course a bunch of other ones. The River is a two-parter following an unfortunate man beset upon by the Spinosaurus in a nod to Jurassic Park 3's climactic scenes. Paddock Disturbance takes us to the long grass movements of the Lost World, but flips the script on its head with its very interesting dinosaur choices. The Trespasser features pterosaurs, and there's even ones focusing on, say, the hurricane that hits the island. I don't want to spoil them all here, but suffice to say, if you're a Jurassic fan and you want a horror fix, there's really very little else out there that's going to provide like these will. And that's a little sad. I'm not going to go on a whole tangent about what's going on with the franchise, but I am dying for more official content like this. And given the views that these videos are getting, it seems like everyone else is as well. I'm going to finish with a query. Why are fan films like this okay? Though of course they absolutely should be, I'm not denying that. But things like Jurassic Operations by Cree Nortician and the like have been attacked by Universal. Is it simply because it was made in a paid-for program? Well, if Dreams was free to download, would that be okay? Jurassic Visions was releasing for free, I think, and had the exact same problem, it was shut down. So what's going on there? Why is there logically a demonstrable difference in how Universal treats Jurassic Park fan games and Jurassic Park fan films? Legally, I don't know if there is a difference, but yet the approach seems to be wildly different. I would have thought both come under the same laws. I'd love some opinions on this. I really genuinely, I'm opening this up, I'm very curious. It's a tangent and a video for another day, but it's a little sad. But in the meantime, enjoy these awesome fan films, and since the last one was uploaded only a handful of days ago, it seems like we're going to get a lot more of them to enjoy in the future. Either way, definitely go check out these fan films. I just want to highlight them. You know, there's a lack of great Jurassic stuff out there. Fans are really bringing a lot of it at the moment, so Ali Awada deserves all the love in the world. They've not been doing this that long. You know, it's only a few months since the first one came out, which is really cool as well, so this is quite a new thing. If you haven't seen it already, go check them out. Let me know which is your favourite down below. Go subscribe to the channel, give them lots of love. Either way, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks very, very soon. Cheers much love as always. Bye-bye.